Okay, guys and girls, I appreciate you all jumping on, tuning in this evening. Hope you are all having a blessed Sunday. So, as we do every single week, I want to start off with the weekly recap. So, last week we sent 57 trades, 44 winners, nine losing. A total pip smashed out was 225 pips on the stop loss side of things. That's an 84% win rate, right? So, again, when you look at the numbers that we're generating, the kind of community that we're building, the results that you're getting, I want you guys to take an honest look at your account right now, where you're at, and I want you to start taking accountability for you, your actions, your trades. I've been with the guys today who I run the cafe with, who I run the studio with, who I do a few other things with from a business perspective. And today was like a day of reflection. And I really, really want to encourage you guys to do this. So I've got journals for the emotional side of things, for business side of things, for like what I can improve on as an individual, as a man, as a partner, as someone who's generating to thrive in the online space. So I really encourage you guys to start to look to do that because it's very, very easy in this space to get caught up just buying and selling. You don't really know what you're doing, and the emotion can kick in heavily when you win, and it can also kick in when you lose. And I've been in this space, like I said, for 9 years now. And the common thing that I see over and over again, we could have a 100% win rate. We could do 65 million pips a week, and we could be doing educational calls. We could be doing live trainings. We could be doing this. But you're the one taking the trades day in, day out. You're the one, and I'm going to cover this a hell of a lot on tomorrow night's call. It's going to be a topic that's kind of going to overlap. I'm going to do mindset Mondays going forward. Obviously, now I've got things sorted with the family. The launch of the cafe, the retreat is finished. So, like, I really want to kind of get you guys thinking about why you're here, what it is you're doing, because to make money trading, anyone can do it. I can teach my fucking 5-year-old niece who doesn't know diddly squat. But if they can follow a proven system, if they can follow things that work, if they can follow the coordinates, think of it like a GPS. I talk about this all the time. A lot of you are wanting to get to the end destination, but you're changing the GPS, you're changing the route, you're changing the fucking vehicle that you're in, and you're trying to reverse backwards on a push bike. And you're wondering why you're not getting the results that you want, why other people are winning and you're maybe losing, why others are winning, why others are losing and you're winning. Some of you don't trade with stop losses. I know I'm guilty of that, quite heavily, but I'm okay with risk. So for me, if I lose a 10, 15, 20, 30K account, I'm okay with that because that's my risk appetite. But again, if you're coming onto here and you're trading with your last 500, your last 1,000, I saw a great video by Jeremy earlier on. He was talking about, something to do with his risk appetite. When he first started trading, he was using the money that he was using to pay his bills. So if you're that person right now who's on here using that money to trade with to pay your bills, there's going to be a different emotional outcome whether you win or lose. So that's why obviously myself and Matthew are doing these calls on a regular basis, to get you guys to a point where you're comfortable doing this, where you're constantly building your confidence, your discipline, everything around that, removing the fear out of the market, removing the greed, removing the emotion, everything like that, because this space is easy to make money. You know, I've gone from a 1K account and I'm just documenting my journey. 1K, I'm at 26.4K now. Started that on the 23rd of June, so it's been just over a month. And everyone's like, Brad, how are you able to do it? I'm like, I'm emotionally detached from the money. Matthew's making obscene amounts of money. So the stuff that we're doing, the stuff that we're talking about, like, I don't want to say like take it as gospel and start getting all biblical and scripture based on you. But if you can come into this space and you can just remove you out of the way, you'll start to make some money. So Matthew, bro, I'm gonna shut the fuck up now and let you run
Good
it.
evening, everyone.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of just share that because we've done a bit of reflection stuff today based on this first week in the cafe, what we could have done better, how we could have optimized it, how we could have made more money, how we could have done this, how we could have done that. And I think we spend so much time not necessarily reflecting on what it is that we're doing that we could necessarily benefit. So over to you, my friend. You should be able to share your screen.
Okay, and I just before we start, good evening, everyone. I just looked at the top of the screen. It's good to see familiar faces. And I know I go on about a broken record every week, but that is the key to this is consistency. And you make a really good point there, Bradley, about journaling and taking accountability. And I was speaking to a potential new client earlier on this afternoon and talking about the losses that I had in my initial learning, shall we say, developing my skill set when it was in trading, and those losses were quite heavy. And the point being that whatever skill set or trade even that you're going to learn, be it a plumber, an electrician, a bus driver, whatever that is, there's a cost to that. There's a cost to the materials that you get wrong as a builder. There's a cost to the tools that you need to invest in as a mechanic. And part of learning to trade, the cost of that skill set is going to be losing money every now and then if you're not quite there yet. The key point is, how do you get past that point? Do you have the mental clarity and strength to continue when you've had losses? And it does speaks volumes about that is the key point of all of this is mindset. Now, I mean it when I say anyone can learn the charts, not necessarily as effectively as someone like myself, but anyone can learn to be profitable in the market with a learning to read the chart and learning patterns and all that sort of stuff. Not everyone can learn how to switch emotions off, which is why these signals are so effective if you use them with the mechanical strategy I teach, because it takes all of that heavy lifting out of it. So with that, let me share my screen and let's get on to. I've just sent you a request to look at a couple of entry models. Uh, let's crack on. So as always, the first thing I want to highlight is trading discipline and trading with the same consistency on every single trade. So the first thing I want you to learn is following the same structured process for entering and managing every single trade. Regardless if we hit a stop loss, regardless if we hit TP7, whatever we do in the previous trade, I want you to regularly enter the market with the same approach, the same conditions on every single trade. The second thing I want to remind you of is that every trade is valid until the stop loss is hit or TP2 is hit. What that means is if we go to TP1, yes, we relinquish responsibility. What you then choose to do is up to you, because we cannot be responsible for individual trading decisions and risk appetites. The trade is still valid until TP2 is hit or the stop loss. If the stop loss is hit, we don't fear it. We then don't get worried about the next trade. We just roll with it. It's an absolutely necessary part of trading. They are just as necessary as take profit levels, if not more so, believe it or not. They're not failures, it's information and tells us that this time we are not on the right side of probability. That is all it is, nothing more, nothing less. I want you to ensure that week after week you are maintaining your position sizing. This one is very, very important. If, let's say, for example, we have 8 to 9 wins back to back, which we often do, and then you decide to get brave and up your lot size, and we hit a stop loss, you're then going to wipe out that equity gain that you've just managed. Week on week to change your lot size is okay, based off of your own decision making and on your own risk management, but you don't do it on a trade to trade basis. I also don't want to see you lowering it if we hit a stop loss, because again, you're not going to be able to make that equity back in the short amount of time that you would be if you maintained the same position sizes you did per trade previous to that. Your profit taking habits are just as important, whether that be TP1, continue to take TP1. If it's take partials at TP1, set stop loss to break even and go to TP2, do that every time. If it's hold all the way to TP3, then hold to TP3 every time. Find what you're comfortable with, find what works for you, and stick with it. And the last thing I want to point out is that the way we update the group, we will always give you context and information in real time. Remember, I am sat here 10 hours, 12 hours a day, depending on the volume, looking at that 1 minute candle going up and down every split second. It is my job as the trader to provide you with enough information so you can make an informed decision on how you manage that trade to the best of your own ability. But of course, that has to align with your own strategy and risk tolerance. So with that, let's move on to looking at a couple of examples. Oh, just move. There we go. Right. So here we have a sell zone. And here the sell zone here is 3357 to 3360. I'm going to use the trading view replay function to play out the trade in as close to real time as we possibly can. Obviously, it is a little bit quicker and a little bit slower at times. So just bear with, move that from 10 because that'd be way too quick. Let's do 3. Right. So price is traded below at this point, below my sale zone. So I am waiting for price action to come into the zone. As you can see, we have done that. I am now sending the signal for you to enter the market between 3357 and 3360. If you are in category 1 and you are a beginner, all I want you to do is get out your phone MT4 or MT5 and make sure that the first 4 digits match where price action is at that time at 3357 at this level, 357.6, 3357.7, 33, whatever it is, as long as it matches that, up to 3358, you can enter the market. What you're going to do is you're going to enter the market at 3357. Then what you're going to do is you're going to wait or set a sell limit up, which we've got videos for if you don't know how to do that, to see if price comes to this second level. I don't want to move it too quick. As you can see, price has activated our second price in this example. This is now what we call or refer to as your best entry. This one, albeit that there's nothing actually wrong with it, will be referred to from now on as your worst entry. What I want you to do when your worst entry, or the one that's higher in price, will be is to take that out at break even or in a small profit. From a beginner point of view, this trade no longer serves you. All it is doing is increasing your risk in the market. We have a way better entry that's maybe 30 to 40 pips in profit. You can close this out. The role of this position for a beginner is to guarantee our entry into the market. If price was only to wick into this zone and then move off, at least we've got an entry. We never know how deep into the zone it's going to go. So we base at least one order at the entry and one at the 50%, at least if you're a beginner. The more advanced traders in here, you know exactly what you're doing already. As you can see, we have come into profit on our worst entry. We will no longer be advising you to close that. It is your responsibility to do so. So don't set this trade up and put it in your pocket. Manage the trade effectively. As soon as this entry is in blue, we remove it from the market. Your best entry can then be managed in whatever way you see fit. Just stay consistent with it, whether that be TP1, TP2, taking partials, or TP3. I'll just keep playing this out. We've got another example playing out just right now. So as you can see, we've got, actually, I'll start it again because we need to pick the point, make the point perfectly. We'll go to this point here. As you can see, we now have another sell zone. I'm waiting for price to come in. As you can see, it's just tapped into my zone. This would be where I would send you the signal at 3343. Excuse me, I need to change that to stop any confusion. So as soon as the signal is sent and I send you this first part, sell at 3343, without hesitation, open MT4 or MT5 on your phone. And as long as the price is within 10 pips of 3343 or in this range, press the sell button. What you're then going to do is you're going to have an entry at what would be our worst, at this point, worst position. As you can see, again, the zone has perfectly been filled up to our 50% at 3346. So now you have 2 positions in the market if you're a beginner. If you're more advanced, you've probably fully layered or you've got 3 entries. This is strictly for the beginners at the minute. As you can see, now we're going to press play. Our first entry, or our worst entry as we refer to it, is now in profit. You're going to close off this one as soon as it turns into blue. It no longer serves us. All it's doing is elevating our risk. This entry is going to give us more profit. It is also way closer to our stop loss. So if we do hit a stop loss, it's only going to be 10 to 20 pips away. And that is going to be no big deal whatsoever. So if you've seen some updates in the group this week where I've been saying 20 pips, 10 pips, 30 pips, whatever that stop loss is, that is when the zone is fully layered and we have taken out at any point that the best entry is just the only one running, that means our stop loss is much tighter. In this instance, yet again, the worst entries come into profit, so we've closed it off. And the same thing again, we're going to let it play out and be consistent with whatever TP level, wherever we're going to take partials. That is what you go for. Just stay consistent with it. One thing I would just like to talk about very, very briefly is there will be instances where I mention into the group that I'm going to take partial profits. That is not an indication that there is weakness in the trade or that I don't believe in it. It just means that I've seen something in the price action that means that price may potentially reverse, and I want to secure some partial profits. And at that point, if I haven't already done so, I would be potentially setting my stop loss to break even, depending on your risk tolerance. Let's look at one more, and then we'll open up for maybe a few questions. Let's start this again. The process never alters, right? This mechanical strategy, we never change it, okay? We never, ever change it. It's the same entry model on every single trade. As you can see, we've got a buy signal. Price is at 3329. You're going to open up MT4 or MT5. You're going to click buy. So long as it matches the first four digits, or within 10 pips, or is in this range. Some of you may get a better entry than I do because I'm entering straight away. As you can see, this one yet again has come perfectly to our 50%. This is a really good thing for us. We have now got what we would refer to as a best entry in the market. Immediately, this one has come into profit. As soon as this one is in the blue, if you're a beginner, you're going to close it off. You now have the best entry running, and yet again, we can let it play out, target the TP level you feel comfortable with, take partials where you normally take partials, move stop loss to break even whenever you choose to set your stop loss to break even. One more thing before I open up for a couple of questions is that when I'm setting stop loss to break even myself, there's probably very rare occasions that you are all in the same entry as me. Some will be in better slightly, some will be in worse. What I would suggest that you choose to do, and it is completely your choice, is let's say, for example, I'm in this trade and I set my stop loss to break even at the 50%, which I would always do because I use such a strategy that as soon as this price is here, I've got instant buy, I just click buy. So I get in at these crazy levels. Let's say, for example, I tell you I am setting my stop loss at 3346.07. What you might choose to do is set your stop loss at the same price. What this means is that you are no longer in the market when I am not no longer willing to be in the market if I get taken out of break even. And as always, if the entry presents itself, it meets the criteria, I will get us back into the market. There will be times when we've only got a 10 pip stop loss, and I say, look, I'm going to leave my stop loss to run. The reason for that is if we've only got a 10 pip stop loss and our take profit level is like 300 pips overall on the TP open, it's well worth the risk leaving it depending on the aggressiveness of how price action is moving. What I mean by that is, let's say, for example, I've got a 10 pip stop loss on this 50% here at 3346. If I feel that price or I can see aggressiveness in these candles, sometimes what happens is it comes in, it takes us out at break even, and then moves away to our take profit before I've got a chance to resend that signal. Depending on how quickly these candles are moving, which is based on liquidity and volume, I may choose to just leave the stop loss. And if we hit a 10 pip stop loss at the risk of not getting into the market again, we hit a 10 pip stop loss. Every time we enter the market, we have one motive. That is profit and profit alone, nothing else. It's not for ego, it's not for gratitude, it is for profit. And therefore, every decision I make as a trader is based on how much profit I can make and how much risk I'm willing to take based off of how much profit's available. So when you see those updates, that's probably the most valuable way to follow through with your stop loss. I'll now open up to anyone that's got a couple of questions. We won't obviously answer them all. Bradley, I don't know if you want to take control again, and we can have a look at the chat.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, there's not many there's not many specific questions to be fair,
Brilliant.
which is
That's
good.
a good thing, I think.
Talk about risk to reward, how you put like a few people want to know like when they should get in and what take profit they should aim for, based on the numbers. And I think that a lot of that does come down to each individual and their own kind of appetite for it a little bit. I think that's a big thing as well.
Yeah, so what we've seen over the last 3 weeks at least is that we are hitting more TP1s than TP3s currently. And that is because there is price of gold at the minute is very near all-time high. And what you'll find at these high levels is you'll get even more manipulation than usual. The reason for that is price has never been, it's been this price before, but it's at all-time high levels still. What that means is the institutions and the banks, they manipulate price heavier because they don't want to be the ones investing in it to push the price up. It costs them more money. So we are seeing this aggressive taking with stop losses and stop loss hunts and all that sort of stuff. My suggestion is if you notice a pattern in the market on one particular week that TP1s have been hit and reversing, stick to TP1 for that week. If you see that one week we're hitting more TP3s, then the likelihood and probability is we're going to hit more TP3s. So whilst I won't suggest you change it day on day, changing it week to week is definitely a good idea. It's something I do myself. It depends on the price action and again what your risk tolerance is.
I also think as well, like, let's be honest, you guys are here to make money, right? So if you're looking at your MT4, and I watched a great thing today, like that I'm going to do a video about how many of you, and I want you to react to this in the chat. I want you to actually write this in the chat. Who has been onto their MetaTrader 4 or 5 and they've print screened a precision entry and it's absolutely run, and you look at your profits and you think, this is sick. Had you have closed it at the exact moment that you took a print screen, you'd have been laughing. It comes all the way back down, taps you out at entry, and you think, fuck, wish I'd have took that money.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that so many times with print, like precision entries. So again, the amount of times that you do this, think, right, if I'd have taken some money off the table there, if I'd have banked a little bit of profit, if I like you in this game, it's not about the print screens for the gram to show you fucking friends who don't care about you. It's for you to make money, it's for you to grow. So again, if you can come into this and you can take money, yes, it may have gone another 17 million pips and you could have retired your whole generational family line, right? But realistically, you're here to make money. So if it's 30, 40 and you're holding out for 50 quid, take the 47. And I think that's a big, big thing when it comes to this. And that's why you will see people who are wealthy, who've got a lot of money, they don't look at the well, what ifs. If they're happy with it, they'll take the money. They'll do what they can do with that. There's always been more trades, there's always been more insights, there's always been more entries, there's always been more sells, there's always been more buys. So again, just get used to banking some cash as you go along.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly not a bad idea if you are absolutely brand new. You're stressing about, oh, I don't know what to take profit. I don't know this. I don't know that. Go for TP1. You will still make a lot of money with TP1. I'm not suggesting that for everyone. Don't take that as gospel. But if you're new and confused and you're you're panicking about what level to take TP1. Our stop losses are maximum 60 to 70 pips these days, okay? Because we've worked out that there's a new manipulation in the market. We've figured out what's going on, so our stop losses don't need to be so big anymore. And therefore, at times they're 20, 10 pips, 30 pips. We hit a stop loss or 9 stop losses. This week, we hit 9 stop losses, which sounds, well, it doesn't sound awful, but some might look at that as well. That's a lot. But if you look at how many pips we lost, it was 225. There are Telegram channels out there that will use that 200 pips, 300 pips as a stop loss. That is not an exaggeration. We used to have to use 100 because the manipulation in the market at that time. Now, a lot of what we do is about adaptability. That's why you'll see me saying to remove yourself out of the trade because I am, I'm so dynamic in my approach that things do change. And, if you just go for TP1, you're still going to make money, a lot of money, and you're going to remove that stress.
I think a big thing people are saying here is, and again, I might come across a bit, I don't want to say rude might be the wrong word on these calls, but some of you guys talking about risk to reward and if
Yeah,
you enter this trade and TP1 is only this, it's only this risk to reward. You're not making any fucking money anyway. So like get used to taking money off the table. Yes, it might only be a 30 pip stop loss. TP1 might be 30 pips, it might be a 1-to-1, right? In that regard. But all that happens anyway, and the guys who are asking these questions, you adjust your stop losses anyway. You take your stop losses off. You over leverage. So if you're going to go on about risk to reward, and this isn't again me scrolling through the chat and picking on any one person. I've had 17 private messages about this. How do I know what to do? Again, the risk to reward is never going to be precise specifically just for you because you've
yeah,
got your own emotional battles, you've got your own psychological battles, you've got your own financial battles that you're going through. So in this game, you have to be right. I think it's 46% of the time to make money. We did 80 something percent last week. So again, if you're the person who, when a trade is coming through, you're going straight to trading view, you're going straight to a graph, you're trying to understand why was that trade taken, you're going to lose. Matthew is sat there for 14 hours a day so that we don't have to do that. So again, remove you out of the process as quickly as you can. The quicker you do that, the quicker you'll make money. If you're sat there analyzing every market, every this, every that, every this, every that, you're going to lose. And you'll be messaging me in a week's time saying, I've blown my account.
yeah. When it comes to trying to understand the logic behind why I trade the way I do or why I enter the market, I like to envision people to think about when they take their car to a mechanic. Right? You take it to a mechanic because you don't know what's wrong with your car. You don't then give it to him and hang over the bonnet and say, well, why are you using that spanner? Why have you bought that part? Right? You don't need to. The reason you're taking signals is because you don't have time or you've not the experience. And that's absolutely fine. I would love to have found this group with me trading at it 18 months ago because it would have saved me £250,000 and a lot of headache and time. I'd probably still have hair. So, it's not important necessarily at this stage why I'm entering the trades. Maybe in time we will think about courses and education. That's another discussion for another time. But right now, all you need to do is master this stuff, and you will make so much money. So much money is available if you just stick to this. Let go of greed. Don't increase your lot size. Don't increase your lot size. Don't question the plan. If you're looking at the chart, if you're looking at the channel and you're wondering why I'm only got a 20 pip stop loss and you got 30, you're focusing on the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
We update that. Everything we do is to better and just give as much information as possible because we've got over 1,000 people in the group, all with different risk tolerances. So I, as a trader, just provide information. That's it. If it does not apply to you or it confuses you, ignore the message.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the message. If you took a stop loss and somebody didn't because they didn't set their stop loss to break even and you did, it's not a problem. We just take the next trade. Don't
Okay.
worry about don't worry about the noise. Is
I
basically
just
the
need to
point I'm
read
trying to make.
something, say something real quick. Guys, if on this call, I'm gonna be honest. Do not take advice from anyone in the chat. This might sound like I'm being a dickhead. The people in the chat are blowing accounts left, right, and center. Listen to what Matthew is saying. There's never going to be a specific risk appetite for you. You focus on you. If you were to go out tonight and you're going to get fucking dolled up, you're going to put your glad rags on, you're going to go out and you're going to spend a night on the town, how much would you be willing to spend? That's what you're comfortable losing. So whether it's 0.01, whether it's zero point 0.1, whether it's 1.0, there's never a specific amount for a set balance. For me, if my account was less than a grand, I'm full punting it. If it goes wrong, I lose a grand. I'm okay with that, right? Some people might be down to their last £73.62, and you might not be able to lose that. So again, in the chat, like giving each other advice about lot sizes and this is what you should be risking. It's bullshit. It's bollocks. You risk what you can risk. You risk what you're comfortable doing. I will happily do set risk on every trade because I'm okay losing that money. So again, like Matthew sends the trades so that you don't have to worry about it. If you feel a little bit squeaky bum when the stop loss is about to hit, lower your lot size because that's when the emotion kicks in. And again, I'm the video comes out on Thursday. Trust me, you'll know when you're over leveraging. Real
So, so I mean, I've just looked at the chat. There's some crazy numbers been thrown around for account sizes. So this is not my advice. General rule of thumb for the signals that we provide and for trading gold at all, 0.01 per £1,000. 0.2, 0.3 is what I would personally be comfortable with £1,000. And you're gonna make a lot of money with that. Trust me, if you start learning to take the emotion out, our runners are like 300 pips, 600 pips, 700 pips. That's 70 quid. You build that up over the week, the months, the year, you are gonna make a lot of money as soon as you master it. But you don't need to be over leveraging. Just one more question. Someone's asked me what lot size I use. This will blow your mind. So I currently I trade at the minute it's just over 1 million, and I use 1.0. That is it. 1.0. I'm risking 0.1%. The reason I do that is because there is absolutely no need for me to use more than that. If I stuck with what the general rule of thumb for professional traders is, it's between 1 and 3% per trade. I should be doing 3 to 4 times what I do on the daily. There's no need. That's where greed sets in. That's where emotion gets in. I never go above 1.0. That's a lie. I very, very rarely go above 1.0
so
because I don't need to. I don't need to. My account, this account I'm trading is up over 4,000% in less than 3 months, 4 months. So, what lot size I use is slightly irrelevant. But the reason I want to answer that question is because look what I'm using. Don't be scared of using 0.2s or 0.3s on a couple of grand. You're going to make bank. Trust me. Once you
I
master
think
this
that's a
stuff.
big thing. It's a big thing. How many of you here are here under a year, right? All of you,
Yeah.
most of you, right? So you're sat here trying to get 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 years worth of results in 3 trades. So you're sat there messaging saying, "I've blown my account. I've done this. I've done that. I'm over leveraging. I'm bum 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 bum." But it's because you're trying to get that end result. You don't just wake up one day and think, "Oh, I've hit puberty. Just come out the womb. Oh, puberty today. Oh, sweet. I'm getting married the following day." Like that. Think of it as a timeline. You've got to come out of the womb. You've got to like get breastfed a little bit. You've got to learn to fucking eat, walk, talk, shit, everything. You've got to learn that. Some of you are coming out and we're going, right, okay, deathbed. Yeah, you're trying to get the end result quick. And the only thing that's getting absolutely pillaged is your bank account. Like me, maybe not so much. Matthew, I would say, but a bit more steady Eddie on the consistency side of things. For me, depends how my day's going. But again, I'm getting better with that. I've been doing this 9 years and I still journal about some of the same stuff, but my financial is better. So I'm okay with losing multiple six figures, right? It was painful, but a lesson. So again, on these calls, start to really self-analyze and look and be like, right, why am I losing money? Why am I blowing accounts? Why am I over leveraging? Why am I taking my stop losses off? Why am I not banking £38, 26 pence? Why was I looking for £40? So, like, again, it's all internal. Those of you who are expressing external emotions, external validation, all that type of stuff, you're going to be in a position where you're like, right, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the issue. So again, like start to do some internal work. I'd highly recommend it. Helps massively.
Just switch your heads off. I don't want to say it so bluntly. Just do as you're told. Just click buy and sell if the numbers match. Find a TP level you're comfortable with. Stop worrying about the noise and thinking that we might, oh, it wasn't at that price, you're stealing pips from us. All that stuff is so negative and it's not serving you, it's not serving the group. Do as you're told, press the buy sell button, set a TP you're comfortable with, manage the trade the same way every single day, regardless of the outcome. Trust me, you will make money without a doubt, I promise you.
Yeah. And if the FCA are watching this, past profits do not guarantee future results. We cannot guarantee you're going to come into the community and make loads of money. But if you fucking
You
remove
will.
yourselves out of the
You
equations, you
will.
should do. Stop. And again, I'm going to go over this tomorrow night. Stop being useless human beings. This might sound like I'm digging some people out, but like, just remove yourself. Like, follow the system, take the trade, enter the market, buy, sell, stop loss, take profit. That's it. And again, like I don't know who iPhone is. You keep asking the same question. I've already told you. Find what works for you. It's not about account balance. It's not about account size. It's about what your risk appetite is. Are you okay with losing 20 quid? Right, great stuff. Are you okay with losing 30 quid of that? Great stuff. Are you okay losing 50 quid? No. Then your risk appetite is that. Divide by the amount of pips at risk. Boom. That's it. So, like, again, it's not a specific amount. It's not a specific. And again, this isn't me digging. I don't know who iPhone is, so don't take this personal. But yes, when you're doing that over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, over and over again, you'll get to a point where you're so consistent with trading, you don't have to think about a lot size.
Yeah.
And again, like if you focus on the semantics of the little shit that doesn't actually pay you, that doesn't make you money, you'd be so hesitant to place a trade and you're on 0.01s like this. Oh, got 10K in your account. Wondering why you're making no money. Because you're scared of losing money. What's the song? Scared money don't make
Yeah.
no money, whatever it was. But again, just follow the system.
Yeah.
Follow the system.
Yeah, that's it. And the reality is, some of you, this isn't going to be for all of you. That's the harsh reality. It's nothing personal. You know, I'm I'm a bodybuilder. Football's not for me, although I try. I'm not great at it. Football's not for me. Ballet certainly isn't for me, but I might try it. You if you have a go at it and it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's not a problem. But you do have to switch off emotion. You do have to be willing to lose a bit of money, regardless of how good the signals are. Trust me, the greed is going to get you. The lot sizes are going to get you. But if you stick at it and you remain consistent with this advice and these signals, then the world really is your oyster.
That's it. That's it. So again, I think we'll probably wrap this up. Keep it
Yeah.
nice, short, sweet. Remove you out of the equation as quickly as you can and stop asking the same questions over and over again in your own head. Follow the system, buy and sell, get in, get out. If you're okay with the profit that you see on the screen, close them, fuck off, and do the rest of your day. The next trade comes out, boom, oh, I'm happy with that. Close them, fuck off. Don't look at the chart. Like the first trade that Matthew sent, great stuff. Yes, it dropped 700 and something pips. You're all sat there going, oh, I missed the first trade. I missed the second trade. Third trade was sent and I was doing something else. That's why you're losing money, right? Anyway, that's me done. Anything else, my friend?
No, I'm good. I'm going to go and eat.
Guys, be on the call tomorrow night because I'm in a fucking feisty mood lately. So tomorrow night, I'll be live on my YouTube. I will see you all there. Bye bye.
Take care, everyone. Have a good